Good morning, everyone. It's Lee Henson, President, Founder of AgileDad, and it's time for today's episode of the Daily Stand-Up. So without any further ado, let's get started. It's Friday. We made it through another week. Congratulations. I know the weekend's on the horizon. Everybody should be happy. It's time for us to celebrate spending time with our families and friends, and time for us to just get out and do something positive. So as usual on Friday, we have a non-agile related topic. Today, I want to discuss with you the 10 things you can do right now that'll change your life forever. So I wanted to give you the top 10 list of things that you can do. And these are well vetted. I took a look through several lists and kind of compiled this one. And it really is just something that you can do immediately. And it's the bottom line is you want to make sure that you're doing self-care. A lot of times, I was just in a class and I was teaching, and it was a product owner class. And the product that they came up with for their vision exercise was a product that was centered on self-care. And it was centered on the care of others. And I thought that was just so beautiful. So I thought I would expand that exercise. Thank you, Sarah, for my class for throwing that out there. But I thought I would expand on that exercise and give you the top 10 list of things that I think you could do right now. So coming in at number 10, experience the joy of learning. I know that it sounds crazy, but learning something new helps expand our mind. It helps open up our thought process, and it helps us get into that mode where we're more comfortable in situations where there's unknown factors. So it makes us more adaptable, more malleable. It gives us opportunities to grow. It also encourages us to be more creative and kicks in those innovative juices, right? Our innovation juices kicked in, and it just makes us devour as much as we can. So I think the more knowledge you gain more confidence. So it's just something that's important for you to really center yourself on learning, figure out something that you want to learn a new trade, learn a new hobby. Just try to find something that's going to enhance your experience here. Coming in at number 9, live in the moment. Now, I'm not trying to say, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we'll all die. That's not where I'm going with this. But there is something to be said about the joy of living now. And I think that too many people are living their life saying the grass is always green on the other side, and that the other side of the fence is better than where we are now. The truth is, if you find your happiness now and live in the moment, find the things that are making you happy, right? If you're sitting on a beach, don't wish you're sitting on a beach eating ice cream. Appreciate the fact that you're sitting on a beach. It's really, really cool when you can finally cross that bridge and you can finally come to the realization that there are moments in your life that are happy. And that I think the big trick here is you need to train yourself to show gratitude and stop worrying so that you can live in the moment now. Because I think so often we get pressure to be worried about all these other things that are happening. This is just a great tool that we can use to help us center and to help us become more happy. Coming in number 8, accept yourself. The only person who can change your life is you. There you go. To create that change, you have to like yourself. And that means, not just physically, but emotionally. Find courage. Love yourself. Step out and do something outside of your comfort zone. Figure out what you need to do. But once you do, realize who you are and realize the precious gifts that you have and the talents that you have, and share those talents so that other people can enjoy those talents too. And that's going to help you overcome adversity and really step forward in your life. So at number 7, one of my favorite ones, face your fears. It's easy to ignore fears and just hope they'll go away. But the truth is they don't. And sometimes they get even worse. And whether it's fear of failure or loneliness or fear of the unknown or fear of what's going to happen next or fear of the pandemic, or I can go down a list with you. We have to choose to take our lives back. We have to choose to face our fears. And sometimes it's a gradual process. Sometimes you have to start with small fears. I'm afraid that if I don't start working out, that my body's going to lose its shape, or whatever it is. I'm just throwing something out there. I'm afraid that if I express myself and say what I feel, that people are going to judge me based on what I feel. There's lots of things you can do to straighten that road and to get to where you need to be, but you need to make a commitment to face your fears. Coming in at number 6, start living a well-balanced life. And that means a balanced and healthy life. I'm talking about physical, emotional, and spiritual states. Get some balance, right? If you're working out every day, but you're a depressed, emotional wreck, and you're not spiritually grounded, it's not going to do you much good, right? Likewise, if your emotions are all in check, but you're in poor physical condition and you have no spiritual grounding, yeah, I think you see where I'm going with this. Exercise is a real good way to attain a positive and optimistic mood towards what you're trying to do, because it gets those endorphins and other things moving along. So it helps you be where you need to be. But the balance also means that if you're going to be happier, it has to be a state of mind as well. So mental exercise, physical exercise, and I'm going to go here, even spiritual exercise. Find something that grounds you. Find something that you believe in. Find something that helps you stay motivated, and get behind that. And vary it. Sometimes you need light exercise. Sometimes you need moderate exercise. Sometimes you need extreme hot CrossFit. It sounds so funny when I say it, but yeah, but it's just it depends on where you are, and recognize where you are and try to get that balance. I can tell you right now, if you get that balance, it just puts you in a better place mentally. Coming in at number 5, do something that scares you. Now, I'm not telling you to do something crazy off the chart, oh my goodness, but I want you to see your limitations from a different perspective. So, for example, for most people, public speaking is something that's very frightening and hard to do. Being on camera like I am now, one-on-one with you, knowing that thousands of people are going to watch this video, sometimes that's hard for people to do. Some people join Toastmasters to help them overcome. And Toastmasters, by the way, awesome organization, and I'm not getting paid to endorse them. But the truth is, when you look at your first speech, it's going to be horrible. Your knees are going to be knocking. You're going to be a nervous wreck. Your stomach's going to be twisting in a knot. You're going to be sweating. I mean, it's not going to be good. Let's put it that way. But the truth is, when you give that speech again, or when you give your next presentation, you're going to find that you're more and more comfortable as you go. You're going to stop shaking, and you're going to overcome those fears. And it's going to help you be a better person. So whether your fear is riding a bike, whether your fear is something crazy and out there, it doesn't matter what your fear is. Overcome a fear. Do something that scares you. Try to figure it out. Number 4, and this is probably the most important one on the list, in my opinion, let go of regrets. A lot of times you say, I regret that I did this, or I regret that this happened. You got to be like Elsa. You got to let it go. You can't sit here and just visualize all your regrets over and over and expect to make forward progress. I tell people a good way to let go of regrets is to write down each of your regrets on a small piece of paper, right? Put them in a box or some type of paper wrapped up, and then go bury them in your backyard or burn it in a fire with your friends. And they don't have to know what it is. But sometimes just physically writing down your regrets and discarding them is a good way for you to let go and for you to really see where you need to be. Coming at number 3, set goals. This is the easy one, right? Make a goal board, and it doesn't need to be all life-changing long-term goals. Set some of those, but set some medium and even some short-term goals. I think the short-term goals are what help shape us and help us achieve the dreams, the life-changing things that we want to do later. So set up a goal board. Figure out what you need to put on there. Figure out what works for you. For some people, making it public to have accountability is a good way to do it. For others, keeping it private and personal is a better way. But you need to learn how or what things are going to impact you and change your life the best. So you need to figure out how you're going to set those goals. Coming in at number 2, create a dream board. Now, this is different than a goal board. When you're children, you daydream all the time, right? And there are several people in my life who I really admire. And it's funny because when we dream, it's a good way for us to start believing in dreams again and to believe that dreams can come true. Of course, Walt Disney was the ultimate dreamer, but it's interesting to see how your dreams can come to fruition. If you dream it, you can do it, right? And I know it sounds so cheesy, but if you hide your dreams, they'll never be achievable. So a lot of times I tell people, live out your dream the best you can, figure it out. And what's going to happen is you can get to a place mentally that you can help those dreams fast track to where you're trying to go, right? And finally, number 1 on my list, and I tried to encapsulate this the best I could, find meaning. Spend some time trying to sort out what's in your mind. What's important in your life? What's not important? Where are you? What is it that you want to achieve? What are your dreams? What makes you happy? I think that you need to write your own definition of meaning, and you need to figure out what that is for you. And the truth is, no one can tell you what your meaning is. Meaning is different for every single person. So for some people, it's their aura. For some people, it's their chakra and connecting with their chakra. For some people, it's a spiritual, mediation and intervention with a greater creator, a greater power, right? It's finding what your meaning is. And once you discover it, celebrating it. Find a meaning, celebrate the meaning. Don't just let the meaning sit there and do nothing with it. And I think that if you do those 10 things, well, I don't think, I know if you do those 10 things, the power of choice will kick in. It'll enable positive change in your life, and you'll start to see things move in the right direction. So I hope that this just uplifts at least one of you. And I'm begging you, please, please, please leave comments. Tell me about what things you think are the best on the list. Tell me about what things you feel like you need to work on. Tell me about a story about something that you did that changed your life. Because one of the things that I can promise you is that I live every day of my life trying to help others change their life. And I hope that you can do the same. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode of Today We Stand Up. I hope you have an amazing night, an amazing weekend. I hope everything in life goes your way. I hope the windows are open and blessings are poured upon you and your family, that you have good health, good wealth, and that you have a good life. And most importantly, I want you to stay agile, my friends, and do take care. We'll see you again next week. Bye now.